Have you seen the Idena project at all?
No, that one I haven't actually even looked at the website for. Let's look at it right now.
Okay, so I'll give you the brief rundown on what Idena is,
Hmm.
right? We talked about proof of work,
Hmm.
Bitcoin, proof of stake, soon to be Ethereum, hopefully, maybe like 20 years from now. I'm just kidding. Um, and then we have so Idena, their goal is to be proof of person.
Hmm.
So it's essentially one person, one node. So you're wondering, well, how do they do that? Couldn't somebody just download two nodes on two different computers?
Hmm.
Well, the whole idea is that you have to prove your unique humanity at a certain given time. It's called a validation ceremony.
Hmm.
Right now, it happens about once every 15 days, but the goal is to have it happen about like once a month. And what you do is you go to this validation ceremony,
Hmm.
prove that you're a human. Here's the cool part, right?
Hmm.
And I know somebody like you will respect the privacy aspect of this. And so, no KYC and no self identification in any way, not even an email address, is
Hmm.
required to participate in this validation ceremony.
Hmm.
It's a lot to unpack.
Right. I want to know how it
So,
works.
yeah, it just simply put, it's like I said, you so the next one is on November 15th, right? And if you
Hmm.
want to try it out, go for it. November 15th, okay?
Hmm.
So what's going to happen is you've done a Google CAPTCHA before, right?
Sure. Yes.
Click like all the little buses,
Yeah, and
okay?
and work out if the 1 pixel the bus is in the other square. Not sure about it. Yes.
So it's actually easier than that,
Hmm.
easier than that, but it's more difficult and nearly impossible or to this day so far it hasn't been possible for an AI to solve this.
Hmm.
Okay? So what it is, it's two sets of four pictures.
Hmm.
Okay? So this side has four pictures, boom, 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 and then this side has four pictures. And you can probably see it on the website if you're looking right now, but it's called a flip. So as a human, it's easy for us to understand. We can look at the left side, the right side. Which one of these is a logical story? Okay, the water spilled, or the cat spilled the water. I clean the water up with a sponge. It's a logical story.
Hmm.
Versus the other side doesn't make any sense, right? I just use that example because that's the example on the website.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Anyways,
now.
so you go through. You got to do 6 of these in under 2 minutes.
Hmm.
Do you think you could do that?
Probably, yeah. That makes. Huh.
So, anyways, if you do this, if you pass the validation ceremony, that proves your identity as a unique person. There's
Hmm.
no way for you to do, you couldn't do more than 2 of these at a time because it all happens at the same time. And the reason I mentioned this Idena project and why I think it's interesting is because it involves what it solves the problem called a Cybele attack, right?
Hmm.
A Cybele attack is like when you see on Twitter, like all these fake followers and they're supporting this certain cause. These companies can just go and buy these accounts. They're
Hmm.
just botted accounts. And so this makes sure that each person only has one identity. So it's a very interesting project. It could help solve something like crypto UBI because each person will only have access to one account.
I'm still not sure why only why you couldn't have multiple of these going at the same time. That part I'm not too sure about.
Okay, so that part you could try to do multiple at the same time.
Hmm.
The problem is you wouldn't be able to humanly complete more than okay, supposedly there's people that have done 2 at a time. It's not humanly possible to do 3 or more at a time.
Couldn't you map your mouse cursor? Like you could write a very simple script to map your
Oh,
mouse
oh,
cursor
well,
movements.
here's the thing, they're totally random.
Right. Okay.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everybody that's a part of this network. Currently, there's about 4,500 unique people across the globe,
Mm-hmm.
which arguably makes it like the eighth most decentralized network in blockchain, which is pretty interesting because most people, I guarantee you, like 75% of the people that watch this probably have never heard of Idena. So it'll be interesting. But anyways, it's very interesting because it's one person, one node, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore you could create like a democratic system per se.
Mm-hmm.
You could create like one of these decentralized autonomous organizations, and then every person would literally have one vote.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't be able to buy the votes like with your capital.
Mm-hmm.
Each person would get their own individual vote.
Okay. It's a
It's a
interesting.
lot to take it.
It is. I'd have to look more into it myself, but that does seem like an interesting approach to take. Huh? It seems like.
It's interesting, and one of my favorite parts is that it's completely anonymous, right? You could
Mm-hmm.
do it without any kind of KYC or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm. That's a really interesting approach.